Holy shit. Welcome to 2024. Please ignore the glitter on my face. It is the season and the season refuses to leave. Glitter is eternal, so you might catch some weird glimpses of that. Also, let's chat New Year's. Let's chat New Year's goals. This is the first time I've gotten around to a video that I've done before that I wanted to do another one of like every year, so that's kind of cool. I'm grabbing myself a little Philip Shaw wine. If you are under 18, grab yourself a soft drink. If you're over 18, I'm not sure how YouTube will feel about me having a glass of wine, but I'm not monetized yet, so I guess I'll enjoy that perk while I can. Let me bring you in closer. Yeah. Welcome to 2024. Holy shit. I'm so sorry if you can hear the construction outside. What I want for 2024, one of my goals, is to live in an apartment that doesn't have construction going on next to it. That would be a real treat. That would be a delight. As I was saying, I feel like 2 seconds ago, I was filming the video about 2023 and my goals. Simultaneously feels like that was yesterday and 7 years ago. So much has happened this year. I want to talk to you about my goals for 2024. Mostly so that next year me can have a look at what those goals were, because before we do that, we're gonna have a look at my goals for 2023 and see how we went. I don't know if this is something that you guys like to do, but I'm very big on taking opportunities in annual milestones to have a look at where you're at and where you were the year before. I do this a lot on my birthday, but also New Year's is a great one. I tend to schedule my life around the New Year cycle in terms of personal growth and emotional growth and mental health growth. I tend to do a lot of that on my birthday. Let's have a look at last year's goals. The goals for 2023 were that I would finish Phantom. I cannot believe that I finished Phantom a year ago, like less than a year ago, because that feels like a lifetime ago, which makes me so incredibly sad, but also I just have such beautiful fond memories of that show, the whole experience, especially looking back at it. Let's be very real for a second. We meaning all of the people who work in entertainment of some kind, touring music, actors, people who work in theatre, we all show the highlight reel. Even on this channel, a lot of my content is the highlight reel, and I try to be as real as I can be about the negative stuff without it, I'll be honest, hindering my employability and also giving people a bad idea of the industry based on specific things that happened to me, because things that happened to me or my experiences are not necessarily going to happen to you, and I would hate to put that on somebody else or deter someone from a potentially very exciting and wonderful career because of a little thing that I went through. So I try to only talk about the things that I think are universal. At the end of the day, touring a show, being in a musical theatre show that is a long-lasting tour can be really hard. And there are a lot of parts of it that can be quite negative. It can be detrimental to your relationships, to your lifestyle, to your health, and it requires a lot of management for it to be not those things. And on Phantom, I really struggled with that because I had never done a touring show like that before. I had never toured. It was my first time actually going to another city with a theatre show. I'd done touring in other capacities, but it was my first learning experience of how to tour a theatre show for months on end with the same people. And it was a learning curve, both mentally and emotionally and professionally, and also in terms of the skill set of my career. Being able to look back on it now, a year past being away from it, something that I think is quite universal is that all of the little petty negative things really disappear from your memory and you really just remember the good things. Well, at least that's been my experience so far. You know, the little frustrations you'd have within your own departments, which I never had any on Phantom because Gio and Anthony are literal family to me at this point. I've spent more time with Anthony. Hello, Anthony, if you're watching this. I don't know how much you watch my videos. That makes me a little bit stressed out. Let me know at work tomorrow. I have spent more time, like this is the reality of working in an industry like this. I have spent more time in the last 2 years with Anthony than literally any other person in my life, including my partner. But the goal was to finish Phantom. We wrapped up in February. It was such a good time. If you want to know more of my feelings about that, I did a whole video about finishing Phantom and closing up. Luckily, I was able to make a lot of content about Phantom. So I did make a lot of YouTube videos about the show, about my experience on it, and I'm so glad that I have those because they are such beautiful memories captured in HD. Like, what a beautiful gift that technology can give us in capturing our memories, which, as you guys are aware by this point, I hope, is something that I am very passionate about, taking advantage of the privilege that technology has given us in immortalizing memories that our tiny pea human brains would lose over time. Anyway, speaking of shows, I started a new show. That was one of my goals for the start of last year. year was to start a new show. I did start a new show. At that time, I knew what that show was. I just hadn't told you guys yet. I started Tina, the Tina Turner musical, as the radio mic technician. I have been doing that job for majority of this year, and I will do it for all of next year, but we'll get into that later. Being on a show like Tina has been an absolute joy. I haven't made any videos about Tina just because that is the company's preference, which is not my place to decide. But to just talk about it for a second, and hopefully nobody has an issue with this, I love this show. The show itself has been very challenging because it is quite a complicated show. It's quite an emotional show. It's definitely challenged me. In terms of just like my plot, you guys have seen that I was injured for a lot of time. Like there is so much involved with Tina. And also shortly after we opened the show, I think literally within the week after we opened the show, she tragically passed away. I think we all felt a real shift in responsibility at that point, that we weren't just celebrating Tina's story, we were carrying on her legacy. Apologies, first technical difficulty of the year. Had to change my memory card. So here we are. I think I've touched on this before, but I can't remember where. I have done so many shows that are about men making dumb choices. Hamilton, about Hamilton making dumb, selfish choices. Phantom, about the Phantom making dumb, selfish choices. So to just tell a story that is about a woman, such a powerful, iconic woman, is just such a beautiful experience. In terms of other career goals for this year, I had on there to start learning the mix of a show, and that has started. Slowly it has started. Due to my own health absolutely going to shit at the end of last year and just like scheduling stuff within the show, I haven't been able to progress through that as far as I've wanted to, but I've started to learn to mix. It's really exciting. It's really challenging. I don't know when, if I will mix for an audience at some point, but I hope so. We'll get into that a little bit more later. If that seems a bit confusing to you, the reality of mixing in a professional theatre space is that you are not given the space to learn to mix until you are hired, typically, for the position that is meant to do it regularly. Usually the head of department and a deputy, at least in Australia, will mix the show. Very occasionally, on a long tour, the mic tech will learn to mix the show as well. So many people that I know have only started to learn to mix when they've become a deputy. Not to become a deputy, when they've been hired for the role and now have to figure out whether they can mix, whether they like to mix. So I'm simultaneously in an incredibly fortunate position that as a number 3, I just have a great head of department, cares about me and cares about my skill set and my future and is happy to teach me a skill that I want to learn. The downside is that there is no pressure for me to learn at a certain pace, which automatically means that when the schedule gets hectic and when I get sick or things like that, it is the first thing to take the back burner. Something else that was in my career goals, which did not go as well, was freelancing. I don't know who I thought I was with what time to think that I would be able to freelance a lot this year while I was starting an Australian premiere of a theatre show and doing this channel. And like, who did I think I was? 2 really exciting content related things that did happen was I started streaming on Twitch. I started streaming. I am an affiliate now, which is really cool. Streaming has brought so much joy and so much community, and it's just a really positive experience that I'm excited to continue even while I'm touring this year. I have been really trying to put together like a touring rig setup. May not be as flashy as the one that I've had while I've just been here at home, but I'm really excited to have some kind of option so that I can still be streaming while I'm on tour and touching base with you guys. Between that and the Discord, which I created last year and we've been using all year, that is just the best. Like getting messages from everyone in the Discord about all the stuff that they're doing, the shows that they're working on and the things that they're doing. We talk about tech, we talk about music, we talk about books, we talk about everything. And it's really, really positive. The same people I see all the time showing up in my videos, in my streams, in my comments, on my Instagram, in the Discord, and I really do notice you, and I'm really so appreciative that you like the stuff that I'm making and that you've got suggestions and that you've built this little community with me. Oh my god, before I forget, 2023, something else that I did that wasn't necessarily on the list of goals but ended up being the best was I released an anniversary tee. They're up here, you can't see them, there's 2 on the wall. On the anniversary of the channel, I released an anniversary t-shirt, which was partially inspired by my obsessive desire to sentimentalize and romanticize, that's probably not a word, every single thing in my life. And Also, this like small little passion that I've had in the back of my head that is to be making products for people in jobs like I work, including clothing they can actually wear backstage, which is why I'll put some photos up so you can actually see them, which is why the shirt came in a white on black version and a black on black version. Backstage, we're not allowed to wear color, we have to wear black, and if you can have a black on black option, you can still wear it backstage. This is something that I want to continue. I think I'm going to try and do an anniversary tee every single year. That would be a cool time. The 2023 anniversary tee was designed by an incredible tattoo artist, all-round media artist. Nick does everything, and he also has a really sick band. So I'm going to leave all the links for Nick's stuff everywhere. Go get tattooed, go buy his stuff, go invest in his media business, get him to make some content for you, go listen to his band. To just tick off quick ones, the goal is to mix a full show. The goal for this year is to mix a full show. I would love to do it for an audience, but that's kind of not really up to me. And just being able to mix a full show from start to finish would be something that I've never done before and would be really freaking cool. So being able to mix the full show is on the top of my list. Hopefully that's one that I can cross off quite early in the year. Along with this is more learning about the system that I'm working with in the theatre. In theatre, we travel the full sound system with us almost entirely every city we go to. That is something that not many people know. Even like cast members and other crew members I have discovered recently. There are very few theatres that actually have their own system installed that will get used for shows like the ones that I've been working on. We tour the whole thing, all of the speakers, all the delays, all the surrounds, all the foldback, everything, all the cabling, cameras, racks, microphones, band stuff, everything. We tour everything. And there are some very, very talented and very smart people in this industry who could tell you, looking at a full packed truck, that they know where every single thing in that truck should go in order for the system to work. I'm not going to get to that level any fucking time soon, but to know a little bit more about all the bits of gear that are being used within the theatre would help me to be able to mix better, would help me to be able to fix problems better. Right now, I currently have an understanding of the things that I directly use every day. When something goes wrong with other parts of the system, I would like to be more helpful. Another one, which is related, is to make the most out of touring. For those who don't know the dates of the show, the Tina Turner musical is touring Australia this year. We are currently in Sydney. We move next month to Perth. A couple of months after that, we go to Adelaide. A couple of months after that, we go to Brisbane. A couple of months after that, we go to Melbourne. So there's a lot of traveling, a lot of living out of a suitcase, a lot of being in new places, and I really want to take the opportunity to enjoy touring. I'm such a homebody. I'm somebody who will take coming home and just making videos or watching movies or reading a book for hours and hours and hours over going out of my comfort zone and going and doing things that are going to keep me up late or might make me tired the next day. I'm only 26. I still should be living it up a little bit. So I want to try and do that this year while I'm touring. On a similar kind of note, but more of a personal note, is that I want to take advantage this year of living a little bit more independently. My partner also works in this industry. He is a performer. He is going back on tour this year as well. For the last like 6-7 months, we've both actually been sat down in the same city and been able to just live together without flying to each other every week, which has been so beautiful and such a wonderful experience for our relationship because we started long distance and we lived together in Melbourne for a little bit when both of our shows were there. But to get to spend like a large, long period of time just living at home together and getting to spend time together every day has been so insanely beautiful, so special, such a rarity for people who both work, especially in this industry. But this year we're both going back on tour. This will be one of those years where we are long distance a lot, where we are apart a lot. I am excited to live selfishly. Listen to me with your active listening ears open. That does not mean that I am not going to miss him, that my preference is not that we are together, but I think one of the perks when you're trying to be positive about working in an industry where you are going to be long distance from your partner is it can be very difficult to live selfishly when you are with someone. You automatically want to know what they're doing. You consider them in all of your plans. You consider them in all of your choices, even just what you eat, when you're going to wake up, when you're going to go to sleep, even just little things like this. When you are with somebody, especially when you live with them, those are things that you always think about. And Ty and I mostly live on the same kind of schedule, but we do have a couple of strong differences, and we both find it very difficult when we are living together full time to be selfish about our schedule, to get everything we want to get done because we are worried about the other person, or like, oh, did you want to hang out? Or if the option is there to hang out, we're going to hang out instead. I think there's also a lot of growth that you do when you're alone, that you do when you are living independently, when you are traveling and experiencing things independently. At the same time, this year, we're also going to get an opportunity to travel a lot together, which will be really cool, and I'm really excited for that. We are both so excited to have an opportunity to do a little bit of independent living, because managing that, preserving your solo self while you're with someone, is something that I think all people in long-term relationships struggle with, or not necessarily struggle with, but have to manage. And it is so much easier when you have forced periods of time apart. This period of independence is being forced on us, of isolation, of loneliness, if you will, is being forced on us. So we are choosing to appreciate it and enjoy it. If you know me in real life, you probably know that I don't really subscribe to a lot of traditional relationship standards, and I think this is one of them where we love being together. We are best friends. It is the best thing in the entire world, but we also really value our alone time and our independence as individuals. And being in a touring relationship really easily allows us to maintain that, because we love and cherish all the time that we spend together, and we still get all of that time alone that we need as well. In terms of like personal life stuff that's not related to work or the channel, saving a shitload of money this year to pay off something that I will talk to you about at the end of the year when it's all sorted and done. One of the really beautiful things about touring is that you make per diems, which make it very, very easy to save if you are someone who is interested in that. I talked about this in a video that I made last year about money in touring. Go and check it out if you haven't yet. So I will be saving a shitload of money this year in order to put that towards something that I have been saving for. It's something that I'm really excited to do and that I have the opportunity to do because I am touring, which I feel very grateful for. Another dumb little personal one is that I need to get my wisdom teeth out. And I am yelling this because I know there is also a lot of you who probably have things on your list of medical or like life admin stuff that you need to do and that you haven't done because you're touring. I need to make time next year to get my wisdom teeth out desperately, and so I'm reminding you in this moment to make the thing that you've been putting off a priority in your goals as well. Oh, along the lines of making the most out of touring and personal goals, I have a goal to get a tattoo, at least one tattoo in every single city that I go to. I already have a couple of tattoos booked for when we're in Perth, which is going to be so exciting for me. Really frustrating that I'm not going to be able to swim basically the whole time I'm there. All that anyone ever tells me about Perth is that the beaches are beautiful, and I can't wait to experience that from a safe and comfortable distance away from the water. I will be living in 5 different cities this year and traveling to multiple international countries, so I would really like to take the opportunity to get as tattooed as I can in that time. See artists that I normally can't see, the ones that I talked about that I'm getting tattooed in Perth. I've been waiting to get tattooed by these 2 artists again. I've been tattooed by both of them before, literally for years, but it's really difficult to get to Perth. It's very expensive. It's very expensive for them to come over here for conventions and for guest spots and things like that, so I've been waiting for a long time to see them, and I'm so excited that I get to go over, if only for the chance to do that. The other massive goal for next year, and honestly the thing that I'm probably going to be focusing on and dedicating most of my energy on, is not only this channel, but another project that I will be announcing next week. One of my goals for last year was to get monetized. That was like a hope goal that I knew probably wouldn't happen, but you may as well put some wild stuff on your goal list. Getting monetized is actually very within reach for this year, and like I said last year, the channel being monetized means that I have money to put towards things to do with the channel instead of just making it work. It allows me to invest back into the channel in ways that I can't when I don't have that financial support. It opens up opportunities for me to work with different people and brands and companies which will benefit you guys. So getting monetized this year is honestly a very close goal. I definitely think that that is something that is going to happen this year, and being the person that I am, I will probably celebrate it, let's be honest. But in terms of this other project, oh boy, I have been working very, very, very aggressively on this project. It's been an idea for a very long time, but I have been working on it like constantly every week, making huge chunks of effort on it since August. I teased it and talked about it a little bit. There was a vlog where I actually like had the pieces fall into place of the idea and how it was going to work to begin with, but it is finally time for that to become something that I share with you, and I'm so excited. It comes in the form of another community-based thing that we can share, and also in the form of another channel. There will be crossover between this channel and that channel in terms of what gets posted there and the project itself, which I will explain more next week, I promise. But it also involves other things that I've never done before, and I'm so excited. I think you guys are gonna love it. I think a lot of you guys are gonna be very passionate about it, and I think it's gonna attract a whole bunch of new people to the channel as well. I will be announcing what that is next week, so please keep your eye out on Monday for the announcement. Along with that new project, there are little mini goals, including a new channel, as I said. Also, I would like to get like 500 subscribers on that channel this year, which is a bit of a stretch for a brand new channel, but hopefully, because I already have an existing subscriber base who are probably going to be interested, that might help. And also because it will be targeting also a new market that I haven't been making videos for too. I want to make a whole bunch of merch for this project. So there will be merchandise, there will be tote bags, there will be t-shirts, there will be other things that if I told you what they were would give away what the thing is. And also I want to do a live event revolving around this new project. So if you have any guesses, please leave them in the comments below. And honestly, those are my goals for 2024. I am really excited for this year. I'm very grateful for last year. I can't believe it's another year again. I feel like next year when I'm sitting down and doing another one of these, I'm gonna feel the exact same way. Time moves way too fast. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you don't subscribe, please hit subscribe. If you're not on the Discord, go join the Discord. If you're not following me on Instagram, go follow me on Instagram. And please keep your eye out. Set a reminder, put it in your calendar for the release of the new project next week. Starting the year off with a bang, with a big bang of something that I'm so excited for. If you live in any of the cities that I've talked about touring to this year, please let me know your recommendations of things to do, places to go, things to eat, and I hope to see you at a show. Last really important point, I've got a big old plan for stuff that I want to make this year, but if there is any content that you would really like to see or anything that you would like me to talk about, please let me know. Send me a message, leave a comment, get on the Discord and chat about it, and I will do that. We can talk about it. We can make the videos, we can do the things. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week with a very important announcement. Oh, PS, I didn't get my license. So, another one for this year. Let's talk about my goals for this year, for 2024.